Hey fellow YouTubers, Sailor Borsha here, aka Movie Moses on Twitter, aka One Guy's Take on Movies.wordpress.com. The Pen, just like The Walk, had great visual effects, and I think it's definitely gonna be up there in the visual effects nominations for the next Oscars. I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I think it deserves at least an honorable mention, if not a nomination. Um, the In terms of the movie itself, the plot, you have to think of, because it's not a Disney movie, you have to think of it as parallel universe story, uh, Peter Pan. It's very different from what we used to see from Peter Pan. It's like I said, because it's not a Disney movie. This telling has almost nothing to do with Hook or the Disney's animated version of Peter Pan. And I've only read one book of Peter Pan, which is kind of like the general book that all the content for Peter Pan is usually drawn from. And there isn't many similarities between the book and the movie. Um, However, we do find out what Peter's origin story is in this telling. We get to see Tinkerbell for a little while. We get to see even the land of the fairies. Uh, there is no Lost Boys as a group that exists in Neverland that fights with the pirates, and uh, I'm gonna call them Indians. But when I think of Indians, American Indians more specifically, I don't get a picture of white people in my head, which was kind of weird and will definitely take you away from the movie, like out of it. It is a distraction, but they're considered tribal people who live yeah, who live in Neverland, and there is Asian people among them. Um, the story has plot holes. There's few things that could have been told differently, that could have been not made in a cliche way. For example, Peter Pan's necklace, the I forgot the name of the instrument, the little flute, Pan's flute that he plays is important to the overall story, but there is a part where, without any spoilers, when he gets to the tribal people, um, that thing plays an important part, but the way they go about it is very cliched, and I think it could that could have been told very, very differently. Um, Hugh Jackman as Blackbeard is the main villain. Hook isn't necessarily a good guy, but he's definitely not a villain in this telling. There's also Mr. Smee, although he has a different name, and yeah, I'm gonna leave that surprise because when he introduces himself in the movie, you will bust out laughing because the name will be familiar. Um, what else? Yeah, the Lost Boys exist. However, it's a very different telling of the Lost Boys, and it's not just boys. There isn't necessary people don't may not age in this Neverland, uh, but they definitely do age, although it may be slower because, well, I'm not gonna spoil the movie for you because you will see it because there is pixie dust and it's important, but it, I don't want to spoil the movie for you. this my score for the movie on a scale of 1 to 10 is definitely a 7, because it is good, it is entertaining. Unlike Maze Runner: The Scorch Trials, I didn't wait for the movie to end, because I had fun watching it. There is definitely, like I said, plot holes and stuff that are cringeworthy that could have been done differently, but it's enjoyable. If you're a Peter Pan fan, um, you may find it difficult to get. You may find it difficult to get used to this new way of telling this story, but uh, I read many reviews and people told me they didn't like it. So I'm guessing I'm again in the minority because I really did like it. I think there is place for visual effects nomination, and yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Like I said, 7 out of 10. Um, if you saw it, let me know what you thought about it. How do you compare it to the other Peter Pan movies, the animated cartoons? Um, I mean, I definitely like Hook and Disney's animated better than this, but yeah, I want to know what you think too. Let me know in the comments. Have a great weekend. Peace out.